All right, step one, we're going to open up our reference file. So let's go ahead and find that. It's in here. So I just scanned this so it's nice and flat. We're going to build this text out right here. So what I'm going to do is let's just marquee. I'll hit M for marquee, just drag the marquee over it, hit Control Shift C or Control C, either one will work. And then what I'm going to do is make a new document, so Control N. And my new document, I want to be, we'll do a 2048 by 2048. You can just type that in there if you don't have that. And then I'm going to hit Control V, paste that in. Oh, look at that. Worked out perfect. All right, I'm going to pull my guides in. If you don't see these, you hit Control R to pull them out, and you just click in here and drag, and it should snap to the center. If you don't have your snaps on, then you have to turn them on in your view. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I like to take this and move it up. So I'm just going to hit V on my keyboard and move it to about right there so that the letters are right on the bottom. And I can see they're just a tiny bit crooked. That was probably from when I scanned it. So I'll just rotate that. How did I do that? I just hit Control T. And so if you hit Control T, you get your rotation or your transform tool, and you can just Control Z that. And I don't want that to change, but it looks like it's pretty good. Control minus to zoom out a little bit. Control plus to zoom back in. Hold your space bar to move over. Let's look at this. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let's just take this down just a hair. Maybe like right there. You can hit enter or press this check mark to accept your changes. Yeah, I think that's going to work pretty good. We can pull another one out here too if we want to check the top. Pretty close. I'm going to just use the E and the Z here to get the longest distance and see if I can get this a little bit closer. Well, actually that looks pretty good. Now let me look at it. Yeah, I'm probably splitting hairs here. There we go. All right, there's my obsessive compulsive anal whatever disorder. Okay, so that looks good. I'm gonna grab this background, hit Control I, turn it black. It's a little easier to see for me. I'll just collapse this down, Control E to collapse down that layer, and then we'll say save as copy, and we'll save it as a JPEG. That's fine. And I've got that one right there, but I'm just gonna say 02 because I might want the original one. And now we've got our reference. Okay, so on to Blender. All right, so I'm gonna grab this, hit delete, add plane. Now, some people, they really like using the image planes. I just use a plane. That's just how I do my thing when I put in stuff like this. So to add the plane, we see it's 2 meters. Yeah, the size doesn't really matter that much to me. 2 meters is fine. It doesn't matter. It's square. Look at the UVs. It's got perfect UVs. So all we have to do is just put a texture on there. So I'm going to go ahead and assign a material right there. And I like to use, like I always just go into the shading here. And I'm not like a Blender native, so I've been using, I've been in 3D programs for 20 years, but so I'm used to doing things a certain way, and I'm still picking up Blender's workflow. So what I like to do is just come in and look for the one weird thing about this is it doesn't it just doesn't let me go to like my other drive natively. I think I have to actually type it in. So that's the D drive. So, or I wonder if it'll let me copy this and paste that in here. We'll see. Hit enter. Oh, look at that. See, that's what I like. Pull that in. So that's just how I like to work. I'm used to working like this in Unreal and stuff like that. So we'll say color, and there we go. Go back to modeling, and let's turn this on so we can see it. All right, so let's go ahead and rotate this so that the Y is forward and we're in the right orientation in the world. There we go. And we can snap to my orthographic. And let's go ahead and just we'll go ahead and make a new plane. So we'll just add. Actually, so what I want to do too is there we go. That's what I was looking for. So we're going to turn off selectability. Still learning Blender. Been working in 3D for a long time, but still picking up different techniques. So we'll put a new plane in here, and oops, hit the wrong thing. We'll go ahead and scale this down a little bit. Bring it over here. Scale it again. So I'm going to start with something like this, and I'm going to go ahead and just get into this object, hit 2, and I can start off just like that. Now I'm curious to see how this tool works. So if I go ahead and just drag this out, yeah, it's interesting. As a new person to Blender, you know, just picking up on these little things, that these fun tools that it has. So we want to get good edge flow when we do this. Now, I know you can hit Control R and I can drop an edge in here, and I can hold Control and snap to increments, which is nice. And so we can just hit Control R, and that's how we can add some extra edge loops in here. Like so. Cool. Let's just keep going with this. So you might ask, like, why don't you just go like this and then go over? Yeah, that's we want to get good edge flow. We want the edges to, like, if we want to drop an edge loop in, you want the edge loops to be able to basically wrap around an object easily, so you can add in extra resolution and change things up. If you have the right kind of edge flow, you'll get just much better results faster. It takes a little bit of time in the beginning to set it up, but in the long run, it ends up working out. Let's go ahead and just move this up a little bit. We'll drop a edge right there. Bring that out a little bit, bring that up. We need to bring these down. Now note that I'm in my orthographic top view this whole time. I haven't messed with the way that the view orientation is at all. Now I'll go ahead and just it's acting weird. There we go. I'll go ahead and just put in some extra segments. No. There we go. I'm holding Control R, but it's like it's not adding it for some reason. I'll put in some extra segments to make sure that this is nice and balanced. So there you see, that's some Z fighting. When I start to rotate, you start to see some Z fight. Let me see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's about right. So I'm just trying to keep these nice and even, so when I subdivide them, they will look good. Okay. Okay, now we could talk about edge flow here. Obviously, you guys can tell I'm still learning Blender, but I know modeling. It's just Blender is a new beast for me. So here, when I grab this edge loop tool, you can see that like when I go ahead and want to drop an edge loop in, I can drop it all the way through because I've done this. Think about this like a sidewalk, right? So like, I've just kind of done this sidewalk type of flow. And if I come here, you can see I can drop one on the inside. I can drop one on the outside, drop one in the middle, so on and so forth. I can drop one here to hold the edges here, drop one here, and boom. I'm going to put one in the middle too. Okay, so this is a nice balanced, edge flow. And I think I just learned a new tool in Blenders. If I hit Control 1, let me hit Tab. I think you have to hit Control 1. There you go. It just adds a subdivision surface to it, and you can kind of look and see how nice your object's looking. It's pretty close. You can see I maybe need to pull that out a little bit if I want to get really precise. I'm just going to kill that. I like to see my wireframe even when I'm not on it, but basically this is pretty close to what I want to do for the rest of this. Now, I was thinking about like, is there a fast method? Like, could I sort of cheat this? And so my mind goes to ZBrush, right? Or like something that has a automatic retopology that does it on all quads. I think Blender might have that now. I'm not 100% sure. I have to look that up. I could have sworn there was something. But like, could I just block out a basic thing without worrying about topology, and then just basically tell it to retopologize, and then I would have something good. I don't know. I have to do a little bit more research. But I do know that if you do it the way that I'm doing it right now, I know that it will work. It always does. So that is the key, or let's say the secret sauce, is that if you learn it the right way, then you know that that way is always going to work. So I think it's a good idea to understand, kind of the old school way of doing things. So if you did need to fix it, you're not reliant on some kind of automagic tool. But everybody within AI stuff, they think, some people think it's just gonna do everything. I don't know. We'll see. Something like this, you just put in a single plane, and this will be one of those things where I'll turn the corner a little bit different than I did last time. This will be fine to have a corner like this coming out this way. And actually, I'm going to use this tool again because it's very convenient. So you just pull that out like so, and you could always just go something like this. Like, go to the apex. Like, that's always a good idea, is you go to the apex of that curve, and then the apex in this spot, and like down in here too, so you can sort of figure out. So you're going to figure out like where that should go, and later you can add these in. You don't have to do this like right away, but you can add it in later. I'll just do one now though, so something like that. So this maybe needs to go up a little bit more. And then of course you have to adjust this curve. I decided I am going to add it in now because this is one of those things where I just it's hard for me to tell where to put these down here if I don't do that one up there. So I might as well just add it in. And this, what's really important is even spacing here. Like when you're doing good hard surface modeling, that's sub D that you can scale later and stuff like that. You need to know that you have like this even spacing. And as of right now, it's okay, but it's not perfect for me. I definitely actually think I'll need to add something in here. Like that. And you can see that you can kind of eyeball it, even if you don't always need a tool to give you the exact measurement every time. You sort of just look at it and kind of eyeball it, and sort of you're looking all the way around here. How far are these things spreading out? Does this need to come a little closer? Do I need to put a separation here? Um, we will put an edge loop here. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Now, here's the funny thing. This is the first time I'm doing this. I haven't pre did this before, and I'm new in Blender. So like I've got two things going on at once, which is I'm learning a new software, um, and I haven't like done this before, this like particular letter or whatever. But what I do have is I just have done a lot of modeling. So um, and I guess one of the principles is that when you've modeled a lot, it shouldn't matter. Um, it shouldn't matter really what program you're in, as long as you know how to use. Once you get used to using it, you should be good. Like it should work the same. So for the most part, I mean, there's some anomaly programs out there that are a little bit different. Like ZBrush is kind of its unique beast, and Houdini has got some very interesting tools that I've not seen in any other tool set. So they do kind of those stand out as unique, but not every, or pretty much every other tool like is very similar, unless you're like modeling parametric or something like that. Then you're talking about like that's kind of its own beast in of itself. Um, so here I've got this, like this is one of those things where it's like, well, do I tie this into here? And I think I probably will, because it does look like it should be connected, just like this should be connected. So Control R, click into here. And so how this works when you got to tie meshes together is you're going to have to basically have edges that where this thing would connect, right? So Control R, oh, I had it. There we go. And so I know I'm going to need something there. This is interesting. If you hold Control out here, you can click, and then you can get something like that. Now, of course, we now have this is not a quad, and I want to stay all quad, so I'll just go like that. Do something like that. Sometimes I don't know exactly how I'm going to work out the topology, so it's all going to be quad. So sometimes I just start doing it, and then I sort of like, I'll let it kind of linger. That's the way I think about it. Like I linger for a little bit. I'll work on something else that I do know, and then I'll come back to it and be like, oh yeah, this is how you do that. Like for instance, I know that there's going to be an edge loop that comes around here. So like, let me just give you an example. So I know I'm going to have something that's like this, basically similar to this, and And so I know how somehow it's going to tie into there, but this up here, so now I'm going to get out of this tool. So this up here is going to be gone. What I'm going to end up doing is running some edges in the corner like this. I'll show you. So I'll hit delete, and I'll say dissolve edges. And then what I'm going to do is use my cut tool, cut here to there, enter, cut here to here, and here to here. Hit enter. I'm so used to rotating, but I want to stay in this orthographic. So now I'll just go ahead and just delete these edges. So dissolve those. And so now you can see that, actually I still have a couple more things to do here. But this is going to basically come up the middle. There's going to be, I'll have an edge flow going this way. I might as well just put some of those in. So let's see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to do something like this. Hit enter. And then I'll take this, bring this across here. And then this is going to come like this. Center. And then I don't need this anymore. I don't believe. No. Solve edge. So you can see quad, quad, and we have that edge flow of like that sidewalk that I was talking about. So it flows around. Okay. I haven't figured this part out yet. I will. But, you know, sometimes, like I said, I'll just let it sit there. Because sometimes you'll be working over here and like it'll reveal itself like what you need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this back on and see what we can do here. This is like...
Here's YouTube music.
Siri just clicked on him. Wow, great. I don't even know what it was playing. So, yeah, this is a little annoying, like going through like this. I don't want to have to keep. Well, that's right. I could do this whole control. Yeah, I guess that works. Like we do something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to work this out. I wish this thing like welded automatically. I could turn on vertex snapping. And so that, you know, like, oops. Oh, see, I can see that being problematic. Yeah, so then that way you can at least get them snapped so they're in the same spot. But, whoa. There we go. All right, let's see if we can work this out. So I know I'm going to probably dissolve this edge. And this is actually a very common practice that I do when I'm working out like some more complex topology. Definitely like dissolving edges and just like kind of cleaning stuff up, and then I can take a look at it, you know, fresh without a bunch of stuff there. So what I presume is like this is gonna have to turn a corner probably and like come around here. So just like I did over here where I ran these edges over, I'm going to probably do something similar here. Although let me just dissolve some of these edges. bring this back. Dissolve that edge. I'm just going to take these verts, take this vert here, and I'm going to snap it there. I'm going to select both of them and merge them. So I know that's going to have to happen one way or another. I'm going to have something connected there. I'm starting to see it. See, this right here sort of has to happen, this kind of turn, but it has to happen here and here. So I'm thinking that, let's go ahead and just move this. If you hit GG, it'll slide on surface. And we'll take this, hit G, snap to there, Shift C to select both of them, M, center. I'm starting to get faster in Blender. So proud of myself. I just need to practice for another year and then I'll be really good at it. Wondering what this vert is right there. Looks like there's a vert there. Am I wrong? It's all vert. Is that a vert? Where's my statistics? Vertices 0. No, I think I'm just looking at like the center of the object or something. It's making me think it's a vert. Okay. So what I was thinking before was that goes there, and then, let me put a cut in the middle here. I'm gonna go like this. Like that. GG, I'm gonna move this down. Actually, that's holding the edge loop right where I want it, so maybe not. Let's do this. Oops. One more time. Dissolve edge. Okay. Gotta go to there. Ah. This has to come down here. Okay, so there's the turn. Select that edge, M, collapse. M, collapse. Ah, okay. No. Alright, even though I'm putting stuff like this in, I'm not going to leave that there. I'm going to have to clean that up. So, once again, I'm going to turn this corner like that. So get rid of those. And then I haven't dropped an edge loop in the middle yet. Let me put one down here first. There. And then I'm going to see how if I drop one in the middle like that, I just click in there, drop that in the middle. And if we have one here too, let's drop one in the middle here. Then this goes to here. And then we take out this. We don't need this. Okay. So because we don't, well, we want to make sure that we don't mess up our like our nice even flow over here. And it doesn't look like it's perfect right now, so I'm gonna just move these a little bit. All right, and we think we can get rid of. So I want to do something with this. Let's do one last thing here. That's a tricky little spot right there. Sometimes it just takes me a while to figure out what the topology is going to be like. That was one of those spots where it just wasn't coming to me. Now I may come up with something better. You know, like sometimes I'll just try stuff and be like, well, what happens if I here and then come into here and get rid of these because they don't look good. Dissolve edge. And then where am I at now? Like, well, this should probably be a little bit closer there. Maybe a little bit closer there. We have an n-gon here though, and we don't want that. If I collapse that, we end up exactly back where we were. So collapse, but maybe that just looks a little cleaner, you know. Maybe I can just kind of move that up a little bit. Yeah, it's like we're ended up right in the same spot. Control 1. Yeah, it looks pretty clean. Smooth out a little bit more. We got to figure out the connection here. Delete that out. Trying to see if I missed anything. Oh, what happened there? That's weird. Two vertices, so one of these is not supposed to be there. There we go. Now I like to spread out stuff like this, so it's not so clumped together. So I might go like that. Grab these, move that up a little bit, like so. And then just to have a nice balanced mesh, I might do this, this, this. Yeah, this is for film, so and it needs to look nice and it needs to bend nice if I want to bend. Oh, we have a triangle there. Danny, Danny, Danny. I just saw this too. These can come down. So if we pull these down, like that, evens the mesh out even more. Put one here. And what are we going to do here? Oh. We don't need that. That was an extra edge. Okay, so this is pretty balanced, pretty even. Um, even this out even more if I want. Oops. Come on. There we go. Ah. It's kind of popping on me for some reason. There we go. It's a little bit better. That'll work pretty good. Let's save this file. There we go. So, yeah, this is going to be really clean work, you know? And the nice thing about this is it should even, you should be able to bend it correctly too. So like if you needed to actually move this thing, like with a deformer, you should be able to do that. I'm just looking at like different options here to balance the mesh out a little bit more. I could do something like this, pull that up. I'm just using the slide edge, GG, like that. And then maybe pull that up a little bit and then pull these over. So if you are like, if you decide you're going to deform something like this, you want to have this mesh like, oops, let me undo that. We want to make sure that the mesh is like nice and balanced topology because it doesn't deform well if the topology is bad. So here's one of those things where the italicized nature of this is not, it's causing like this weird flow here of polygons. So, yeah, so you could balance it out this way too. These are still a little crooked and stuff like that, but this is important when you're like, when you're, you're showing off your models, like you want to get a job at like a high-end place. They're going to want to know that you know proper topology. They're not gonna, and this is where it starts with like simple stuff like this. Like, can you do text correctly? Yeah. So now that topology is a little bit more balanced and it should flex better if you needed to flex it. Oops. See, now that flow is like, I don't want to say perfect, but it's pretty close. It's really nice. And if you need tighter corners here, you just got to move these verts that are in the corners a little bit tighter. So all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take out this edge for right now because when I connect over here, it's just annoying to use this tool with that edge there because then I gotta grab both of them. Okay, so we can grab this. Like this is, you can come all the way up and do this and like kind of get the shape first and then start working, your magic. I know for sure I'm going to have like something like right there. Come down here. Now I can pull that over. I can, and like I said, I can get this overall shape first. Like so. And then learn how to like basically the same kind of patterns that I was doing here. Like you have to lay those in through here. Now this one right here, I'm just gonna go to this tool because it's easier. So I can just drag that like that. So then that, like that's done. Now that's connected there. So you got to have that little pattern of like two holding edges and one edge coming off. Okay, and when you get to an outer corner like this, you can do it like this, where you just have like a box. Okay, here inner corner, we had that same pattern, right? So let's go here. Okay, so we know we're gonna have to have like something that comes across. Basically I can try to start off with this. This, maybe just bring it to there and bring it right there. And then we'll clean it up. Like, we don't have to leave it like that. So I can say that this doesn't need to go through here anymore. So I'm going to say delete, dissolve edge. Okay, so now we're almost got that pattern. Am I on? There we go. Delete, dissolve edge. So now we're getting that pattern. But let's look at what we have going on. We got some n-gons here. So this here, we could take these two and move this like that. Take this one, GG, move it over. Okay. There's no rule that says that we can't add like an extra edge coming through here. So if I was to take this and move this up, balance this out like that, then I can take an edge through here and see what happens is I split this and I get a quad, a quad, a quad, and a quad. So I got all the quads I need, and I can balance this out. Okay, so now you can see that looks pretty good. This here, if I want, you can straighten it if you want. Got the same problem going on here where I've got an n-gon. Okay, so, but I know I'm going to have something going through the middle here, so I think I'm going to leave this alone for right now. What I could do is just, lay in this right here. Just click. And right there. And I can do the same thing here. I know I'm going to take this out eventually. Let's see. That's acting funky. Let's go there. So eventually I know I'm going to go here, and then I'll have something like that comes around. Might as well just do that for right now. Here. So we'll just, this is another like method you can do, is just build the fence around, build the shape, build the fence around, and then like start refining it, right? So I know this has got to go there. I know that there's going to be something there. Dissolve the edge. This one can come like there. Okay. So I know there's going to be something like that there. I might even need that tighter if I need that, like, because these are really sharp corners. So technically, like, these might need to get in there tighter. This might need to be tighter. I know that I'm going to have something working from like the center here. So I wish I can snap to the center when I first lay this down, but it does not work that way as far as I know in Blender. Like, after I snap, or after I click in, it will start doing that, but not in the beginning, unless I do this. Like, this one will. And that, you can see it's getting stopped by the n-gons. And then I can connect that to that, like that. This is where I know that this is going to end up being, I'm going to go like this right here. Just connect that. And then I'm just showing you different methods of like getting the same results. You could just click out here. And slide that up a little bit. So all quads, turning the corner. You can see sidewalk, turning the corner. Okay, so what am I going to do here? I know I'm going to have something across here. So let me just do this manually. Click in here. There. And then from here to there. And then I'm going to go all the way down here. Let's see if that looks even. That looks pretty good. And then I can go here to there to there. Wow, it's funky. I'm trying to move it along the edge. So here I need to go delete limited dissolve. Oh, is that what it was? That worked. Okay. I don't remember how I did it last time, but all right. Ah, I rotated on accident. Okay, so we got something like that going on. Let's stop this. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna complete this, and then we'll see what I'll figure it out later, what it needs to actually work itself out as. Let's see. If I go here, what does this want to do? Yeah, I know I'm going to need something like that. Let me just connect this. Try to go straight across. And then let's see what happens here. Go there. So now I don't like that part. You can go here. That could work. Turn. Yep. Quad. Quad. That's quad. So for this, you're going to do limited dissolve. And we just don't have anything here yet. And then we'll balance the mesh out. So a little bit different approach this time, where I'm just like kind of getting the overall shape. And then I'll what do you call it? I'll lay in the edges later. So that's how this one worked out. Here you can go ahead and just drop, actually right there. Drop one here. Now here I might want to just go like that. Is that balanced? I can't see. Get out of here. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty balanced. Yeah, this one we probably could have added in another one. So I could go ahead and just move this up like that, and then put another one down here. So now I'm just gonna go in here and just kind of straighten these out, make them look good, so they're not messy. Okay. One thing we're missing is a loop right there. And then I think that's it. Let me just give this the once over. before I throw that smooth on there and see if it's it. Yep, yep. Let's see. Control 2 this time. Control 2. So yeah, you can see that nice edge flow there. All right. All right. I'm liking it. You know, this is curved and I don't really want that. So like in the end, you might tighten some of that stuff up. But this is a good way to just start learning proper edge flow. Just combining stuff like this together is challenging. This is probably the most challenging part in the whole thing so far. And as you saw, I had to think through it. Like my brain just like wasn't piecing it apart. And you know what? Maybe there's a better way to do it that I'm not seeing. Um, I can look at it one more time here and say, like, is there something? I mean, I know of theoretically I have it right. I just don't like putting vertices in here that have more than 6 points, but it's on a flat surface, so it probably isn't that big of a deal. That's back in the old rendering days, they had some renderers that had problems with that. So, but I don't even know if that's an issue anymore, um, in all honesty. So, you know, we're just cleaning these up, making them look nice and straight. That's a good thing. Grab those. Just gonna make sure everything's nice and straight. Do the same thing with this right there. Nice and balanced. Yeah, so you can imagine that this could be, you could throw a deformer on this, you can warp it, you can do all kinds of different stuff. And you could always subdivide it more and more if you want it, if you needed more resolution because it's super clean and it's balanced and stuff like that. Okay, so that's it. That's like a really nice long, maybe boring if you're not into modeling, lesson on hard surface topology. There's more to learn, but this is a good start. All right, y'all. Have a good one.